In a world where ordinary men can excel doing ordinary things, this man has single-handedly lowered the bar. From the scrambled mind that brought you Mad Madness and Beagle Rare comes this underwhelming Friday night special event. Matt Porter is the Blendigeddon 2 World Champion and the 2020 World's Top Whiskey Taster. Ladies and gentlemen, raise your glass and shake your ass for ADHD Whiskey Live.
What's happening, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me. Looks like it's working. Wow, it is Friday night. Super late on the East Coast, 11:09 p.m. Here in the mountains, it's only 9:09. And if you live on the coast of the Pacific, dinner time. Still dinner time. So thank you for joining me. Sorry that tonight was a little bit late, and sorry that we missed last week. Last week, not feeling too hot, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We have a fun evening planned. Feels like I'm doing something wrong. It's so late. Normally start 2 hours earlier, but tonight we started late for a good reason. My wife's grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary, and we drove out a couple hours from here to go celebrate with them this evening, and their family out there threw a little party for them, so we went and hung out with them and wished them a happy 60th wedding anniversary, and then drove back, and we literally, and when I mean literally, I almost mean exactly literally, but we got home about 18 minutes ago. You walked in the door. Then had to get the kids ready for bed. So we're fresh out of the Ford Maverick and ready to rock. Eric B was here friggin' early, 11 p.m. East Coast. I'm likely to have to catch it on replay, but after the Bourbon Junkie stream the other night, I do not want to hear the drone story. I do want to hear it. Oh yeah, okay. Try not to drone on and on too long about the drone, or you'll have to change the channel name to Drones and Drams. Solid. Travis Robeson's here. My mother is here. Yeah, Mom, we was late. We was late tonight, sorry. You should be in bed, though. Just watch the replay. Watch the replay. Kooky Cats is up in the mother. Eric Griffin, Dr. Kobe, Eric B, CJP Bourbon, Jay Porter, Chris Miller, Justin Harris. What's going on, everybody? What is this AI slop? What's your problem, B? What's your problem, B? Red Hills Bourbon is here. Keymaker Coils, CJP Bourbon, I already said that. News About Whiskey is here. Mark Honia. Hello all. Sean Holtgrave is in the house. Paul Clausen, the pickle man himself. James Christopher. Tuning in from Deep Glacier National Park as long as the Starlink lasts. Man, where's Deep Glacier National Park? Let me think. If I had to put money on it, why would I do that to myself? Why would I even try to do that to myself? That's a bad idea. Deep Glacier National Park. The smart money's on somewhere like Alaska. But nobody would visit there. I'm going to put Deep Glacier National Park somewhere in Canada. Somewhere in Manitoba. Somewhere in Manitoba. Tell me how far off I am. It's probably like Wyoming or something stupid. Jay Simmons is here. Keymaker Coils, 130.7 proof ECB pick from my local store. Hells yes. Drinking water tonight, says B. What's that AI crap? B? Huh? Huh? That's all right. Water is good for you. Water is good. I'm litty like a titty. Pour number 5 incoming. Nick Foles. What's up, Nick? Ronald Road is here. Pepper decanter, batch 9. Nice. I haven't had any of the pepper decanters yet. Bill Kavanaugh sent me some samples of the, maybe he did send some James E. Pepper. I was thinking Old Overholt. Oh, the James Pepper ones are like the square, nice looking ones. Some cigar blend for Mark. Newest Single Barrel Toasted Rye for Corey. Nice. Let's see here. Bold move starting this late. Listen, Jason Mounts, I couldn't help it. It was either now or not tonight. So I went with the former. I went with the now. Couldn't do it any earlier, unless you wanted me to do it this afternoon, which my afternoon is like, yeah, I don't know. You know, no one's gonna tune in at 5 o'clock on a Friday. No one wants to buy a radio at 5 o'clock on a Friday. 40-year-old virgin. Scrolling down. Late as F, says Jason Mounts. Sorry. Oh, starting that late, you mean after 11? Yeah. Well, honestly, I couldn't have started any earlier. I tried to get in here and get it rolling and going. Let's see here. David Peterson, hey man, I'm finally able to land a Joseph Magnus cigar blend, eh? Awesome. It's batch 328. Wow, those jumped up there, huh? I know the cigar blends are all going to be different, so hopefully you enjoy it. Let us know. Let us know how batch 328 is, Mr. David Peterson. I got, so, man, I'm struggling. We got new we're weaning slowly into the final permanent teeth, but what they're doing is adjusting things slowly and like making everything perfect before the final set. So I just got new uppers and lowers, and the lowers that they put in, they used to have like a little bit of a, what do you want, like a spacer. They were kind of like spacers. The screw went through a spacer, so like the teeth weren't sitting all the way on the jawline, like they were elevated a little tiny bit. Helps like the tissues heal and everything permanently, and like the bone gets super strong and stuff before they did what the hell they just did to me. Good grief, I went in there and they were like, they already did this to the tops. I don't remember it being like this, but they removed the bottoms. They took all the screws out, and then this one sits flush with the bottom of the jaw, and now they've got to cinch it down. They got to tighten the screws harder. And I swear, those 6 screws were, remember, oh, actually, another 40-year-old virgin, when he's getting his chest hair ripped out and he's like, Kelly Clarkson. Like when they cinch down the screw into the jaw, it feels like your jaw is going to explode. Every tiny little twist that they do. That was the most painful part of this entire thing. And I felt bad for the girl who was cinching them down, because that was like, lady, I do not like you at all right now. And she's very nice. Andrew Ma, hey man, I hope you enjoy that Coy Hill. Just got a little, where the hell did I put it? I don't know. Let's start off the night with this. We got a few bottles to get to and the blind pour like usual, but before we get into the blind pour, let's get into Jack Daniel's Friday the 13th. America. This is my Jack Hill? Jack Daniel's pick from last year. That it picked on Friday the 13th, January, Friday the 13th. 129.6 proof. A lot of patrons were able to get in on this one. Was bottled on March 9th, 2023. Bourbon, Bobos, and Biscuits. Yeah. We'll chat a little bit, get to a blind pour. Got to tell you about the trip to Kentucky that was last week, was Kentucky trip. Super cool, like 2-day trip, day and a half trip. And then the whiskey we need to get into tonight, for sure. Gotta get, I had the Coy Hill, the new Coy Hill. There's that. This Michter's bottled this while we were in Kentucky. The first time I ever did this. Fort Nelson Reserve barrel strength. It's got plastic on it. I have to rip that off of there. So I've never had one of these before. I don't think I've ever tried one, but now I have my own. So this is a Fort Nelson Reserve Michter's. And so unprepared. Where did it go? Come on. Oh, there it is. And the brand new 2024 Boulder Cask Strength 2024 release. Got to get to that as well. So it's going to be a fun stream. It's going to be a good one. We're going to enjoy it. Enjoy it we shall. Memories we shall enjoy. Coneheads. Rock solid selection going with 4 roses in the 1 ounce Wednesday video today. Yeah, 1 ounce Wednesday video on Friday. That happened again. Listen. Not every Wednesday can be a Wednesday, okay? Not every Wednesday. Paul Kloss and my friends call me Pickle. So I guess Matt and I are friends. That's right, Paul and my friends call me Matt. So we're on the same page. Anyway, with these new teeth, the new lowers, I redeveloped my lisp. So I am trying to overcome it. But we're like maybe a set or 2 away from the final set. They're treating me really well over there. Night Methodist here. How do I feel about Henry McKenna? It's good stuff. Henry McKenna's great. I love it. It's not like my favorite pour on the planet, but in a blind flight, it always does really, really well. McKenna's good. I liked it when it wasn't like $80. That helped. Montana? Is that where Glacier Ridge Park? I already forgot the name of it. It's in Montana. Huh, that's what I said. Montana-toba. Joe Donnell is here from zip code 28412. Ryan Bianacali is here. Got a little Frey Ranch 100% wheat single barrel pick, 132.6. Jeez Louise. A wheat one, huh? I don't know if I've ever had a wheat Frey Ranch. Chucky Larms is pooping. Good job. Watching from... Steven Scone's working late. But watching from work, good. Have you tried your Boulder... Have I tried my Boulder Spirits pick yet? Not next to the Cask Strength, no. Or not... I haven't tried my Boulders... Wow. I haven't tried my Boulder pick from last year next to the Cask Strength pick from this year. Montana, not Alaska. I never went with Alaska. I went with Canada. That was my final guess. I was still wrong, though. I was still wrong. Son is camping for a 4 Roses limited edition. Sheesh. When is that? Hopefully that drops tomorrow and not like Monday. Adam tuning in from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Cheers, brother. Cheers, Adam. Hopefully you're having an awesome time. I need to make it there next year. I need to make it to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. I've never been, and I feel like it's something I need to do. Wow. Yep. Damn. I haven't had that in a while. You know what? We're leaving this out. We are leaving this out because this needs to be compared to the Coy Hill. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that a little bit later. I just realized that. This is my, okay, this pick, I'm not saying it's like the greatest Jack Daniels pick of all time. It's a good one. It's a very, very good one. But I haven't had it in so long that I need to taste it next to the Coy Hill, for sure. Because we need to see how good this Coy Hill is. So don't let me forget to do that. All right, let's get this party started. Blind pour from the blind 1 ounce. Wow, get your shit together, Matt. The blind 1 ounce Wednesday box. It's on the floor. Here. You can't see it. I didn't bring the chair over, but listen. You can hear them all, right? Got one. Oh, got one in my hand. I don't know what it is, I promise. Just took one out of the box. It's a little one. Now I need to clip this without... Didn't think about it. Get in there. Nope. Come on. Come on. Come on. Nice. Okay. Glass. Got it. Effortless. Effortless procedure. We'll hide it behind the mixers box. And let's go in for the first pour of the evening. Well, second, first, whatever. Blind pour. Give it a swirl, a little bit of a twirl. Give it a little bit of a spin around the glass before we smell its delicious whiskey. Yeah. No idea. It smells like linens. Could probably benefit from maybe a moment in the glass. And I could probably benefit from smelling better. Linens isn't too far off. You ever walk by someone's house and they're doing laundry? Not the wash portion, but the dry portion. And they've got some sort of glorious fabric softener, like the beads or something, and it's just blasting out of the dryer vent outdoors, and you walk by it. Kind of that. My dad would knock on their door and then rip their dryer out of the wall, because he's not a man that loves fabric softener scents, but I don't mind them. Oh, wait. Now it's developing into some sort of a cherry. It's blossoming, you could say, into a nice cherry. Oh yeah, wow. That took a minute. That took a minute for the smell to, like, whatever you call it, put itself together. And now I'm wondering, Buffalo Trace or MGP possibly? Maybe Four Roses? Familiar nose. Very familiar. And now that I'm working with a lot more MGP, when I think that something is familiar, wow, this lisp. Eh. When I think something is familiar, then I get like, is that MGP? So I have to think about it extra hard. Because you'd think it would stand out like a sore thumb because it's so familiar. But then it's like, is it that familiar, or is it familiar for other reasons? You know? Like smelling a dog on your clothes. Was it your dog? Was it a different dog? And if it was a different dog, you probably should wash that shit off before you see your dog. Because if your dog smells it, not the familiar smell he or she wants. There is a little bit of a funk here. Maybe like a, why is this leaking out of my mustache? Like a little bit of a, like an oak that kind of got like, what's the word? Like a damp oak. A musty damp oak. and cherries. Let's go for a sip. That is good. That is cherry fizz. You know those fizz candies? I think I've talked about this one time before. They came in a strip. And they were different flavors, and I think that they were like rectangular shaped, hard candy. And then when you put them in your mouth, they're like super sweet. Then they started to fizz a little bit, like some bubble. That's like a cherry fizz candy. With also a little bit of like a funk, like an oak funk, and I'm not going to say a peanut, but like a light, it's like arranging towards the nut, like you had some sort of cherry fizz candy sitting next to a Butterfinger on the shelf, and they commingled there for several months before they expired. Second sip. Seemingly a bit more of that. It's almost like a molassesy peanut buttery ball, but not like strong peanut butter, like one of the orange and black Halloween candies. They're like peanut butter flavored, I guess you could say. Screws in your jaw being painful makes sense. Yeah, Dylan, it was it's weird. Like, she told me how far they had to screw them in, like how many measurements of a centimeter, or like I can't remember. It seemed like a very, very small amount that they had to actually screw it in. But she was like, after she like had them finger tight, then she had to they put I would guess like a mini ratchet in there, like a torque wrench, and they like make it perfect. But when she was tightening them finger tight, she's like, are you all right? And I'm like, oh my God, lady, you are the worst. Each one, like, you know, when you get a toothache, some of you might know this, some of you might not. Those of you with perfect dental health probably are like, what's wrong with these people who know what this is like? But if you've ever had a tooth break, or maybe you had like an abscess or something, and then it's like a stinger or a zinger, like it hits the nerve, and it just radiates pain like through your jaw and into your head, and you're like, oh, like that nerve pain. It was like that every time she turned it a little bit, but then it would dissipate after like 30 seconds. It'd slowly go away. Then she'd move to the next tooth, and I'm like, lady, you're killing me. But it's all good now. It's all good. Mr. Culp from Michigan, you're my favorite whiskey tuber. Thank you. Could you please explain the King Bourbon Gold subscription? In fact, I even receive bottles through the mail here. Yeah, they do ship to Michigan. Becoming a gold member for Barrel King is an absolute fantastic idea. If you become a gold member and you get one bottle shipped to you per month, and then you'll have access to all other bottles that were sold previously that are still available. The gold membership is basically allowing them to know basically how much whiskey to produce. So instead of guessing, it's all Barrel King stuff is sold through the gold membership program. And this month is a fantastic month to join because it's September, where 13 different single barrels were put up, and they are 11-year-old MGP high rye bourbon with a dab of 9-year high rye MGP bourbon mixed into each barrel. They're all fantastic. I have two that are going to be available to my Patreon as well. That I need to do tasting notes for and make some stickers for. But I tasted through them again last night and couldn't be happier. They're like ridiculous. Like one of the notes on one of them is Willy Wonka's motor oil cherry quicksand I wrote on the side of the bottle. Like they're really, really good. There's no obligation if you become a gold member. So it's not like, like a gym where you're like, you're signing up and then you're committing to this at this price for 24 months. Otherwise, we'll kidnap your family and hold them hostage. That's not the way it works. You can cancel at any time. So give them a shot, and I don't think that you will be disappointed. And if you are disappointed, it's okay. Someone's got to be wrong eventually, Joking. James Carroll, sorry I'm not smoking and I'll leave a nub tonight. James Carroll, you get out of here. You smoke Alec Bradley's or else. A barrel strength Michter's, I am so jealous. Well, let's see. We haven't tasted it yet, but we'll get there. Oh, yeah, I got to get back to this blind pour. Excellent bottom day. 3/9 is my birthday. 24 years old. You're not 24. 24. 54. Boulder hardly knew her. Sorry. I can't look at Dr. Kobe's picture and not, give me a hug every time. Jason Mons was in Kentucky 2 weeks ago. It was such a great time. He did Louisville, Bardstown, and Lawrenceburg. Damn. Is Coy Hill shipping now, or are we a couple months out? I believe that it is going to be hitting stores now, from the press release. Yeah, at any point. Apparently, this release is bigger than the other two, so I mean, it's hard to say if anyone will see a bottle or not. I mean, I don't know. Everything, this whole whiskey hunting game is a game. And you can never be too sure. But it's always good to keep your eye out because sometimes miracles happen. It would take a miracle, they say, for me to walk again and talk again. But anyway. Snoo! 1 ounce whenever day it is. I like that. Welcome to 1 ounce whenever day. On 1 ounce whenever day, I take a blind pour from this box behind me. I pour it into a glass and I blind review its blind whiskey ass. 1 ounce whenever day. Nice. Brian Arner from California, just settling down for a nice dinner, I presume. Abel Esparza, greetings from Corpus Christi, Texas. That sounds like a friggin' fun town to go to. Corpus Christi must be like, I would imagine, and I know nothing about Corpus Christi, Texas. So it could be a town of 60 people who are all very religious and giving and church going. But Corpus Christi, Texas sounds like somewhere where I want to be when I'm like 23 years old and ready to party hardy. Corpus Christi? Let's try to do it. No? Possibly. Let me know. Corpus Christi, a religious town or a party town? Could go either way. Or it could be both. Which is very admirable as well. Sipping on some A24 Stag. Damn, show off. The brand new Stag. Is that the newest one or are there later ones? Because it's September. Oh my God. It's almost going to be 2025. Shit gets crazier and faster every day. It's weird. Not every Wednesday can be a Wednesday. I need on a shirt. Noted. Starring it. Starred the comment. Let's see here. I think since it's the Matrix, every Wednesday is a Wednesday. It could be. When you say since it's the Matrix, are you just saying like shit's weird? Like we gotta be living in the Matrix? Shit is weird, right? Like shit's getting real weird. Am I a conspiracy theorist? And did I not even lisp when I said that? Not really, but I did not lisp. I just lisped though when I did that. Shit feels a lot like Matrix style, huh? Things are just getting stranger and stranger. They made a second Beetlejuice called Beetlejuice. Just saying. Lonnie Hawk says, hey, your shit together, man. Hey, your shit together. Lonnie Hawk. Miami Angels Share Society, where can I send you some samples? I have a P.O. box in the description of all my videos and live streams except for this one. I noticed right before I went live that I did not add a description to this video, so it's probably some generic StreamYard description. You get that note from some Four Roses fabric softener? There you go, Lonnie. You got your shit together to tell me to get my shit together. I knew what you meant, but if somebody screws up telling you to get your shit together, then you must point that out, which I did, and I felt good about it every second. Somebody else's laundry, somebody else's barbecue, somebody else's cologne always smells better than your own, period, and I don't know why. I don't know why you think, I don't know, I mean, yeah. Matt's dad is allergic to fragrances, not a fan. You know what, Mom, you're just standing up for Dad. That's cool. That's cool of you. All right, final sip of this blind pour. We'll give it a score and then reveal it. It is spicy on the third sip. It's a spicy, I'm going to say it's a Kentucky bourbon. It's not, I don't think it's MGP. It's not Buffalo Trace. Could it be Four Roses again? Four Roses? No, I don't want to ruin my luck. I don't know what it is. It's very good. What I considered a great whiskey. Finish is super solid. Viscous. Oily. Pretty complex. It did change a little bit through the sips. The nose changed dramatically. I will not. It's weird when they're blind. And I drank the friggin' Jack right before it. I'm going to say 7.93. Very good, bordering on great. It's a very, 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 very good whiskey. Now, what is it? Oh, shit. Okay, well, I need to start going with my instincts immediately. The very first thing out of my mouth was, it's either Buffalo Trace or MGP. The very first thing I said. Then I talked my way out of it. Come on, focus. Son of a bitch. Focus. Here, is that where you need to be? Oh my gosh. There it is. From Bill Kavanaugh, 2023 E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. How old is that? That did not taste like it could be even 10 years, like maybe 8 or 9 years old. Maybe. $129 proof too. That is much spicier than I would imagine an E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof to be. Thank you, Bill Kavanaugh, for that sample. You are amazing. Bill is so supportive a wonderful person, and the only reason that I was able to try E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Batch 11, and I gave it a score of 7.93, which is not a bad score. It's not a bad score. It is very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Bordering on great. It was so close to being great. But just very, 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 very good. So there's that. Dental surgery of any type is the absolute worst. Hey, Derek, what's going on? What's going on, Derek? Thank you for popping in. Let's see here. How far behind am I? 12 minutes. Wow, that is ridiculous. Did someone say gold member? That was terrible. Did someone say gold member? That's so bad still. Smoking a pancake, cripe in a pipe. Just go back. You know what? I can't even do the Trump impression anymore now that we're in the middle of a presidential election. So I just can't do it anymore. After this election is over, then I can resume trying to do it. I just don't want to fire anybody up or get anybody's buttons pushed. And just by saying that, I pushed buttons and fired people up. No political commentary in the chat, or you will be booted with a click of a finger. Shouldn't even have mentioned it. Just go back to doing Dr. Evil poorly. Michael, if you have a problem with dental pain, never watch the Dustin Hoffman Max von Sydow movie, The Marathon Man. Okay, noted, and I won't. A torture scene. Eek. Cask salesman, any chance Barrel King does a special release for their 100th batch? Oh, there went my phone. My phone just fell. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Am I still there? What the heck just happened? My phone fell and then it shut everything off, which my phone has nothing to do with what's going on here. That's weird. That's weird. Any chance Barrel King does a special release for their 100th batch? A long time ago, I'll have to remind Jared of this, but I sent him a message, a text. And I said for batch 100, we need to do like a waxed bottle inside of a bag, inside of a box with some sort of fun stopper and like a padlock on it. I can't remember if he said yes or no, but I'm on top of it. I'm on top of it. Nothing good ever makes it to Wyoming. Not even you, David Fox. Short barrel hazmat. I've never had any short barrel stuff. Is the short barrel stuff amazing? Chucky Lawrence finished pooping 11 minutes ago. That's nice. Hope it'll make a third Beetlejuice or we're all screwed. Agreed. Uncle Larry, thank you. I'm a fan of you too, Uncle Larry. Uncle Larry. September hunting season off to a slow start here in Oregon. No major drops, but got my monthly Weller Green. Nice. Yeah, not a lot has dropped around here. There has been... Actually, I wanted to talk... I've got so much to talk about. We have time. We have so much time. While we have that time, I'm going to pour this. We're going to do Boulder Cask Strength. Then we'll do the Michter's Fort Nelson. And then the Coy Hill at the end compared to my single barrel of it last year. And I might taste one of my Barrel King single barrels before then as well. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But this is the brand new Boulder Spirits Cask Strength Straight Bourbon Whiskey. There. Originally, I was supposed to do, America, a barrel pick of Boulder Spirits Cask Strength Bourbon again this year, just like I did last year. The Mountain Goat. And I was in contact with Boulder because the one last year was seriously like a friggin' gangster over bourbon. It's hard to sell barrel picks of unknown companies, but everyone who got one of these was like, yeah, that was crazy. It's a weird mash bill. I think 51% corn, 44% malted barley, and 5% rye. So it's very high malted barley, but enough corn for it to still be a bourbon. This is made up of barrels that are, it says the youngest barrel in the blend is 7 years, 4 months old. So 7 years, 4 months and older barrels in this blend. I did not do a barrel pick this year because I believe what they told me was when they were tasting through their barrels this year, some of them were like maturing different than others. And they were, I don't want to misquote them because it was a while ago, but they didn't feel comfortable with the quality of their barrels this year to do single barrel picks, but they were still going to do a limited edition, like a small run of a batched bourbon. So hopefully next year I'll be able to do another barrel pick. But this year, this one was like a 15 barrel batch, 128 proof, 7 years, 4 months and older, but it produced less than 2,000 bottles. It's like 1,900 and some bottles. Currently, I think that, and I honestly have nothing to do with Boulder, like with Boulder Spirits at all. I've talked to them about barrel picks and that's it. But I really, really enjoy their product. So I sent the link to my patrons when they put it on sale or pre-sale. Last I checked, when I got this bottle and tasted it, I ordered a second one, and on their website, I think there were like 100 bottles left. That was a couple days ago. I don't know if there's any left or not, but that's just me putting it out there in case you guys are interested. Yeah, it's friggin', I don't know what the... Yeah, the phone fell and then like my screen went out, so who knows. We're back. What's this guy's problem? What's your problem? Short some good stuff. 12-year MGP rye pick from there. Nice. Weller Foolproof for James Carroll. America, love it. Doing that from now on. Yeah, bourbon is America's native spirit. So every time you open up a bourbon, a little bit of America comes out with the cork. That's the way think of it, and that's why I say America every time the cork comes out of an American whiskey bottle. It's just history. It's American history. This is slightly changing since they opened it. This Boulder. It's funny, even though there's so much malted barley here, if you didn't know it, you might pick up on something's a little bit different, but you wouldn't be like, oh, that's a super high rye malted barley bourbon. The first one of these that we tried was in 2022. Fred Minnick put it on his, like, I think it was like top 10 bourbons of 2022. So then, being from Colorado, I found a bottle and I made a video titled "Is Fred Minnick Full of Shit?" Which he wasn't. It was actually really damn good. It was so good that I reached out to them to do a barrel pick. So 2023's release was very good. And every year they keep getting older. So 5 years, 6 years, and now this one is 7+ years. Same distillate, but seemingly as this ages, more and more of the malted barley influence is dissipating into this like super high quality, like extremely viscous espresso, dark fruit. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a crazy, crazy pour. But on the nose right now, there's like almost like a hot skillet, like a cast iron skillet. Like it's heating up. Solid note for sure. And then, I don't want to say nothing. Like a hot cinnamon, cast iron. And then like a dark red fruit, like a black cherry. If that black cherry were like muddled in with that cinnamon and on that cast iron. All right, let's go for a sip. Boulder Cask Strength 2024 down the hatch. That is a full ride. It holds on so long. That is a big, big bourbon. If you didn't know where it was from, you would never guess it was a Colorado distilled Colorado whiskey. It's not something you would pick up on. It almost tastes legacy. It tastes like, I don't know. I might have done it in a blind flight before. I should do that again. I'll tell you this much. Ah, shit. I can't tell you this much without actually doing it. America. We gotta do a little comparison, a little A-B. Smoke Eye Hill got a lot of love this year. It is also from Colorado, but it is distilled in Indiana. This one's a little bit higher proof than the Boulder. But I want to say that the Boulder absolutely smashes the Smoke Eye Hill as far as like complexity, depth of flavor, viscosity, basically in every element. Unless you like, if you like a bright, shiny cask strength bourbon, corn forward, more grain forward, bright bourbon, then the Smoke Eye Hill I think is the better one. But if you like a deeper, richer, more complex, thicker, friggin' like powerhouse, it's like the Razor's Edge of bourbon. Remember that finisher from Razor Ramon? Just, hey, whatever he said. What did Razor Ramon say? Shit, I forgot what he said. He had a catchphrase. Hey, how you doing? That's not it. I don't remember. Wow. It's not even close. It's literally not even remotely close. The Smoky Hill is so, it's like singing, la 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 la, and then the Boulder's like, oh, no, 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 like the very low, it's like the bass, and then the Smoky Hill's like just the high notes. And it's like 89 bucks. So around the same price as the Smoky Hill. The Boulder Cask Strength 2024, it's a super limited release because I guess that's all they had the barrels for. And it definitely sounds like they paid me to talk about them, but I've literally haven't spoken with anybody from there in months. But when you see something, say something. I think that's a saying. And I got teased for saying it before, but I see that this is really damn good, and I would like my viewers to be able to try it. And if they ship to your area, there's probably some left on their website, maybe. Very low, very limited amount though. And if I steer you wrong, let me know. If you hate it and you get one, tell me. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to be totally honest. Tasting the Boulder first. The Boulder was all the thick, characteristic quality, amazing dark bourbon profile that I was talking about. Then tasting the Smoky Hill after that. The Smoky Hill was bright and grain forward, is like very, like a young corn whiskey kind of, like very, the corn grain seemed to shine forward. But then going back to the Boulder, that after the Smoky Hill is when the malted barley started to really shine in the Boulder. So if you had a corn whiskey or something very, very different before the Boulder, you would probably pick up on the malted barley notes more. But if you had what did I have before that? The E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof before the Boulder, it was hard to really pick up on that note. Anyway, I don't love malted barley. I don't. That's why I don't own any Scotch really. Or any American single malts for that matter. I own a few, but not many. But that is my jam. And that's why I ordered a second bottle. It's friggin' delicious. Mountain Gold was insanely good. I think that this year's release is better than the Mountain Goat, I'm pretty sure. But my Mountain Goat is buried in a tote. I don't want to get it right now, but I believe that it is. I love the 2024 Boulder Spirits. Thank you for posting the link, Matt. Otherwise, I haven't even noticed it. So yeah, you got one. So I saw on there, I think they posted on Instagram that it was like being released. So as soon as I saw that, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get a barrel pick this year, but the only thing as good as being able to share a single barrel with my Patreon community was being able to share a link for a bottle that I didn't know anybody else had yet, or noticed it, or even like put two and two together that there's only 2,000 bottles of it. I think that they're sending some cases to a state or two. And if it's your state and you see one in your store, definitely pick it up. But, like I said, it's a super, super small batch, under 2,000 bottles. Are you related to a Danny, California? Oh, gosh. I think that a lot of, I think the Red Hot Chili Peppers are like a, what do you call it? I don't care. I'd love to see the Chili Peppers in concert. That's like one of my, like if the Chili Peppers came, I want to go to a Chili Peppers concert. Wow. I sound like that guy off of 50 First Dates. The guy who wears like the mesh tank top and he's on steroids but doesn't look like he's on steroids. Drew Barrymore's brother. Also, I'm on steroids and I don't look like I'm on steroids. What was that guy's name in the movie? That's what I feel like I sound like right now. The Red Hot Chili Peppers? Yeah. I'd love to go to a Chili Peppers concert. Alright, I'm scrolling down. I'm still, geez, well, I guess I'm only 8 minutes behind. Not bad. JTS Brown is a hidden gem. JTS Brown is good. I think it's Kentucky only, isn't it? Or has JTS Brown moved outside of the state? Last I heard, JTS Brown was only Kentucky. Whiskey Problems. I'm an easy mark. Just ordered one of these bad boys. Pleased to see they do Venmo payment. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know where they like where all they ship them to. Dude, I'm not the dude that's gonna like sit here. Like I bought that bottle. It cost me $105, I think, shipped to my door. I opened it. I tasted it. Actually, true story. My wife does not like whiskey. My wife doesn't give a shit. But that's not me saying anything bad about her. I love her more than I love anything. She's the best. But when it comes to whiskey, she can't drink it. She has like this allergic reaction that happens in her throat. She like literally turns red. It's bad. She might die if I give her like a drink of whiskey one of these days. So I'll keep that in the back of my mind in case everything ever falls apart. But I was so excited after trying the Boulder Cask Strength that I literally brought it into the kitchen where she was. Like, never mind. Almost went full Sean Strickland there. Anyway, I was like, babe, smell this. Smell it. Smell it, babe. And she was like, I don't know. I was like, smell it. You should probably smell that right there. And then she did. And she was like, what? I was like, it's... Then I told her about how I liked it and how nobody else knew about it. It was the whole thing. Was she impressed? No. But I had to share it with somebody because I was so pumped about it that I ordered another bottle. So I've bought 2 bottles. And if you're an easy mark, I do think that you will be very pleased. If you're not pleased, then tell me, and then I will reassess the people I let in my live streams. That's a joke. Gotta love honey barrel picks for comps. Which one are you talking about? Crap. By the way, I lost my mouse from my computer. No idea where it went. Literally no clue. Left for Kentucky, came back, can't find my mouse. No idea where I put it. I was gone for 2 days. And everything got turned upside down. And nobody touched anything. Everything was exactly where I put it, but I can't find it. Oh, that's it. Hey, yo. That's what we had. Hey, yo. Yeah. Oozing machismo. Are there any updates on Matt Madness 2024? Sure. Matt Madness 2024 has not been canceled. It's still going to happen. There will be a champion of Matt Madness in 2024. I could go on and on with excuses, or I could go on and on with reasons why I chose to do this, and none of them would be honest. I'm an honest person as honest as I can be when I talk to you, and I don't really know. It's kind of like, how do I word it? I've been stressed and going through like, I don't know what the hell kind of a funk I've been going through, but something, I don't know. And it's going to happen, and it will happen one day. I will wake up Just like losing weight, I will wake up and I'll be like, today's the day. Today's the day where Matt Madness begins. And it will be this year, I promise. It will be this fall. We're on a day to day. We're on a day to day. What exactly is going on in my head that is, it's literally like a mental block. Some sort of like, with a few other things in my life too that happen and that have been going on. It's like I'm at a stalemate with myself and kind of like, there's like a paralysis happening where for some reason that I cannot explain, I want to do it and then I blink and it's the next Friday and I have to say it all over again. So I apologize that it hasn't happened yet, but it will. And if it doesn't, then that makes me a liar. And if there's anything I dislike more than liars, it's myself, if I became one. So it will happen. It definitely will. It took me a while to realize that you meant JTS Brown. I'm like, just Brown? JTS Brown is $10 a liter in St. Louis. Hey, listen, if it's good and $10 a liter, then yeah, it's a hidden gem. Lead here, Boulder Cask isn't too malt prominent. I love Scotch, but just can't get into an American single malt. I prefer malt whiskey aged in used barrels. Honestly, if it were too, well, I mean, for example, Boulder Spirits offered me because they do an American single malt. Like they offer a single malt, and they offered me a barrel pick of single malt. But I was like, that's just not my jam. If it were too malt forward, then I wouldn't enjoy it. It's a full flavored cask strength bourbon, but just different enough where you're like, oh, it's like a twist. Like, it kind of tastes like a heritage distillery, like a big distillery produced something like a one-off of something. Like you would expect this type of quality from a big name doing something different. It's like an LE from a big distillery that you'd want to get your hands on. Nothing about it screams craft. Nothing about it screams Colorado distillate or like high malted barley. It tastes extremely good. But determining why is the hard part. I mean, once you know what it is, it's easy to figure out because you already know. But if you tasted it blind, you'd be like, this has got to be something that, you know what I'm going to do? Shit. Let's do this. This is the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof 1 ounce Wednesday bottle. This is what I'm going to do. Because what I'm saying is, this is what you would say if it were in a blind. But instead of me saying what you would say, what I will do, scratching off all this, Boulder, and that doesn't even need an ink pen. This works. Boulder Cask 2024. This is what we're doing. Do I have a funnel? I do have a funnel. All right, Boulder Cask Strength. This is me trying to call myself on my own BS. I don't know why I would BS myself into thinking that I like it more than I do, considering I paid my own money for it. But maybe I just wanted to like something that was unique to me. Anyway, don't overflow it. All right. There's the lid. And it's back in the 1 ounce Wednesday box. So now there is a 1 ounce sample of Boulder Cask Strength in the 1 ounce Wednesday box. When will I pull it out of there? Shit, who knows? But whenever I do, we'll find out what I think of it blind. Emberlon. Same way with my wife, she listened to me rant and pretend to be impressed or interested for my sake. Yeah. So like I don't have a ton of friends. I have a lot of friends in the whiskey community, obviously, but everyone is so spread out. But I don't have a lot of friends locally. And by a lot of friends, I mean like I don't hang out with anybody locally. I don't have any friends locally. Like I'll see my brother-in-laws or like my sister-in-laws here. Bowling, I go bowling. I'm on bowling teams with some people. But like I don't hang out with people here. So the only one I have to talk to when I'm impressed with something is my wife. She's my best friend. And I'm like, babe, I don't want you to be upset, but I need to tell you about how I feel like I'm bowling, or I want to talk to you about this bourbon that you don't care about. I need to tell somebody. Maybe I should pick up the phone more often. That would be a good solution. Have I tried the Coy Hill already? Not yet. We just tried the Boulder Cask Strength, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. Where did I put it? Here? Oh yeah, that's the one. Hmm. 128.4 proof. They aged them in number 3 charred barrels. What else? What other information they put on here? Oh, there's a typo. Oh, no, there's not. Straight bourbon whiskey aged for 7 years, distilled and bottled by Vapor Distillery, Boulder, Colorado. I need to visit them. That's what I was telling my wife. I was like, Carissa, we need to go to Boulder Spirits so I can visit them. Oh yeah, getting over a cold. That was the other thing. So, if you remember, not last Friday, but the Friday before, yeah, damn good. 2 Fridays ago, I said, I won't be live streaming next, wait, no, I said I might live stream next week. 2 Fridays ago, I said, my kids got sick, and they've been sick for days, and I was starting to feel a little bit of it. And then that Tuesday, I was flying to Wild Turkey, or I was flying to Kentucky to do a Wild Turkey pick, Russell's pick. And I said, I just know that it's going to hit me, like this weekend, it's going to hit me like right before I leave, and I'm going to get there and I'm not going to be able to do the pick. Like it's going to be a whole thing. I just felt it. I felt myself getting sick. I just knew it was going to happen. What actually happened was, after I logged off that Friday, I spent Saturday and Sunday feeling the same way. Like I am, like, you know how you know you're getting sick? It's there. It's so there. It's in the back of your throat. It's like the stinging in your nasal passages. it's like you're like 10 minutes away from being full blown sick. I felt that way that Saturday. I felt that way that Sunday. I felt that way that Monday. Like, why is this continuing to feel this way without, like, how? Anyway, Tuesday, flew to Kentucky. We had a crazy day with the folks at Michter's, which I'll tell you about in a few minutes as well. Felt the same way. Wednesday, woke up, same. Did the barrel pick at Wild Turkey. Great day. Came back to the Airbnb, listened to a podcast get recorded at this Airbnb. Did a little hot tub with Alec. But then at the end of the podcast that the Bourbon Junkies were recording with Bruce Russell, I sneezed. And that night, when I went to bed, it all hit me. My cold symptoms literally waited for days and days and days until the Russell's pick was over. And then it hit me like a truck. It was like, all right, bitch, you don't want to be sick before the pick? All right, we'll hold off just for you. And for your Patreon community who wants to go to Russell's pick. But beware, you will pay. You will pay so hard, both monetarily and by being extra super sick. So after the Russell's pick, went back to the Airbnb, whatever, that night, me and Nick Jones were sharing a room. Big room, 3 beds. Not sure why we shared the same one. Same room, different beds. But I felt so bad because all night, tossing and turning, like I felt like I had a fever, friggin' coughing and hacking and sneezing and snorting, and oh my God. Got on the plane the next morning, my nose ran like a faucet from the moment we took off from Kentucky until Denver, and then on the Denver plane to Grand Junction. Like, literally piles of like those brown paper towel napkins. My nose was fudged for days after that. All like the rubbing and just terrible. But it held off. It held off until the Russell's pick was done. The monetarily thing that was the issue was not great either. That's why there's a drone in the picture of the live stream. We get a noodle pick with it. That's funny. I got some epic drone footage of the Wild Turkey property again this year. Last year, I got a little bit of drone footage. This year, I got much, much better drone footage. Problem is, I don't have that drone footage because that footage rests on the roof of Wild Turkey Rickhouse A. It's there. This is what happened. Or do I have it? Let's pretend this is my drone. Pretend this is upside down. It's not a good way to start. Let's pretend this is the drone. This is my drone. Just like this. And I'm flying it. Friggin'. Flying it. Just getting all the footage. Here's Warehouse A, Rickhouse A, and then I'm guessing, you know what, I don't even know if Rickhouse B is right next to it. I'm guessing it is. But like I got this shot where like here are the 2 Rickhouses, like side by side, and flew my drone like straight through it, like midway through. And then as the drone exited the 2 warehouses, because like the warehouses are flying by on both sides, just the drone flies through them. So you're seeing the Rickhouses go by on each side. And then as it exits, the Rickhouses pass, the drone goes up and then over the river and it sees the bridges. I fly towards the bridge, I turn around, I come back. Then there's the Wild Turkey sign. There's a sign that says like something about welcome to friggin' Wild Turkey or whatever the hell it is. And it's got, I think, Eddie on the billboard and Jimmy on the billboard. And this is where I started to get a little bit, what's the word? Super filmy. I got not brave, but I was like Steven Spielberg with this pilot's license. And this is all recreational drone footage, by the way. It's all recreational. Just for me, nobody else. Just as a recreational pilot. Get close to the billboard, closer and closer to the billboard. Like, it's a wide shot, so like, you can't tell how close you are to some stuff, but I get closer and closer to the billboard until it's like perfectly in frame. And like, you can see it, like, it's 4K crystal clear. And I'm like, back up, and then I fly by the billboard and up and above it. And then like, as it clears the billboard, you can see like the top of the billboard like cut off. Like, I'm so pumped about this footage. Over the tops of these trees, then it looks like the drone's gonna hit the trees, but it's not, it doesn't. Clears the tops of the trees, and then it's like, boom, there's wild turkey. This footage is phenomenal. There's the water tower. Whew, crest the water tower. I send the drone home because did I lose visual sight of it? Never. I never would. But if you were to lose visual sight, you press return to home, which I did. Because I just wanted it to come back, even though I knew exactly where it was and I could see it. Drone comes back to me. Everyone's eating lunch. And I'm like, hey, I could use some lunch too. But before I do that, one more shot. Remember warehouse A? Right here? Take the drone, crank her sideways. Camera's facing warehouse A, and I get this shot. So it gets all the windows here, and it's like panning the windows. And in my head, I'm talking shit to Sean, who also had his drone, but got way less better footage. Or his footage was way worse, I knew it. And I'm like, this is gonna kick the Bourbon Junkie's ass when it's recreationally viewed. And just all the windows. So then here's the back of Brickhouse A. As I get to the back of it, I start increasing the altitude of the drone, and it goes, the drone's going up, and then crank the camera around this way, so it's gonna go view over the river again as it increases altitude, and then it goes, na, over the top of warehouse A, and pitched roof. Friggin' bing! Friggin' ding! And that's where my drone's at. It's on the roof of Rickhouse A at Wild Turkey. Holding some of the best drone footage ever shot. Ever. By man. Or by drone. They could not retrieve it. They don't have... nobody has a bucket truck big enough to get up there. And I've given Sean Paisley a lot of shit on this channel, but he deserves no more shit. Very good friend. I won't spoil, because there's a video that could have been much better had he done anything I asked him to do. Other than what he did, which I didn't ask him to do. But he spent way too long trying to help me get my drone back. And failed. But I appreciate him so much because he didn't have to do that. And he could have been tasting barrels alongside others, but instead was trying to help me out. So Sean, if you ever watch this, I love you and you're a great friend, and I can't thank you enough for literally trying to go out of your way to help me. You're a very good person, and I take back literally 99.9% of the shit I said about you. Bordering on 100%. Let's see. A cytokine storm? I had one of those. We just watched Twisters, and I felt like I knew exactly where it was coming from based off of the cloud formation in my throat. Yeah. Nick has a habit of that. Joseph Brezzo, get out of here with your dirty talk. Get out of here with your dirty talk. I had to pour the Mountain Goat. It's a banger. The Mountain Goat was very good. Zachary Queen. I'm new to bourbon whiskey drinking, but this channel is my absolute favorite. Thank you for putting out great videos. Thank you, Zachary Queen. We are the champions, Zachary Queen. Dun, dun, dun. And we'll keep on watching. And it's whiskey. Dun, 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 dun. I see a little journal upon a warehouse. That's just a joke. And that's how viruses are spread. We know. We know. But had I canceled and not went, I would have never get invited back ever again. Just saying. Just saying. Oh yeah. Bruce knows it's there. The best part is, I don't even want to... You know, remember when you were a little kid and you did something wrong? Like you did something bad. And you knew you were... like you knew you were going to get in trouble? That's how I felt. So, as a little kid would do, I was like, the drone... I went into full, like, 9-year-old mode, and I was like, the drone landed on your roof. And then later that day, I was like, I didn't land there. It definitely didn't land there. But I was afraid Bruce was going to get mad at me, and I couldn't have Bruce Russell get mad at me. Turns out Bruce didn't give a shit, okay, at all. He's like, oh, you put your drones on the roof, huh? Yeah. Those things will disappear around here. Basically what he said. I love Bruce Russell's a great dude. But yeah, still up there. I want that drone. I want that drone too, CJP Bourbon. I'd really love it if I got it. It'd be great. It's just there. It's going to be there. Trying to get you to ship for some samples. Want to share some incredible stuff I don't believe you've had. Curtis Wright, I'm sorry. There is, if you go into any of my videos, except for this one, if you want to send samples, and I'm sorry that my email's a disaster, and it's a very terrible excuse. I'm sorry. I do have a P.O. box in the description of all my videos that things can be sent to, and I apologize for not responding to your email. I have an issue. It's bad. Was your pick from Warehouse B? No, my pick, the barrel I chose was from actually Tyrone F, which is, it's a really, really good pick. Okay. It's not my fault. My fault. Grappling hook? How many stories is the Turkey Warehouse? 2, 3. Is it 6? Is it 6 floors? So 6, I'm going to guess 6 floors plus a roof. And the weird thing is, where it's at was not where it made its way halfway down the roof. It was very loud. It's a metal roof. You could tell it's a metal roof by the sound of the propeller sitting in it. It's all bing, 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 bing. A grappling hook, if I flew one of the rodeo guys right here from Colorado to wild turkey, I would imagine that a strong one could get a lasso up there. A good strong one. But it's, it's way up there. It's not like it's a little building. The problem, I didn't know it was a sloped roof, which Shouldn't even have said that. That'll probably get this video taken off of YouTube just because I said those two words together. I didn't thought that it would clear where, but it didn't. It's a problem. How many drones have I owned? 2. How many of them have I crashed? Same amount. Have Dan skydive for it. Yeah, I'm a rock climber. The problem is it's on private property, and I don't think that they want anybody scaling the walls of their rick house. Vincent says, some days your videos make a crappy day one a little bit better. Thank you for watching them. That's if one of my videos makes a crappy day of yours a little bit better, that honestly means a lot. I like hearing that. Thank you for sharing that with me. And I hope that's true. But I hope that your days get better and that you'll no longer have to watch my videos. I hope your days get so good that when one of my videos comes on, you're like, that guy, he used to cheer me up. But now I think he's a piece of shit. I hope your days get that good. You know? You just start going to Google Earth to see when it updates and you can see your drone on the roof. Yeah. The other thing is there's a gutter on the side of the roof. So at first I'm like, a good rainstorm will probably knock it off the roof. But it might just put it in the gutter. We need that footage. I know. The other problem is this. So, by the way, where am I at with these pours? Oh, I got to do this. We're running behind now because I just got to talking. Damn it! What was I just about to say? Oh, the footage. So I have a memory card in my controller, and it should be in its cache. I've never said it out loud, so I don't even know how to say it. The controller literally records the screen from what you're doing, so that you have basically you can review your video on your controller without getting the memory card out of the drone. Problem is the cache, I don't know the hell you call it. The video is there in the controller, but it says it can't be played. It's unplayable. I don't know what malfunctioned to make it not playable from the controller, but it just wasn't, it won't play so just my luck, you know? I was like, well, at least I'll have some shitty footage from the controller. Nope. So strong. Strong back. Get off of there. Come on. Saw Jimmy Russell at Wild Turkey. He was in the visitor center. And we were hanging out with Bruce all day. By the way, Bruce is getting jacked. Bruce looks like he shrugs barrels all day in the rick house. Just getting shredded is Bruce Russell. Did I mention that to him during our pick? And what time did we get there in the morning? We're probably with Bruce. Got there at 11. Probably with Bruce for 12 hours that day. And do you think that I mentioned that he was getting jacked to him and that he had a big back and strong shoulders? I didn't stop mentioning it. 12 hours of me talking about it. But oh yeah, saw Jimmy in the gift shop, and I froze up, and I just stood there and stared at him, and I didn't know what to say. And I'll probably regret it in the future, but I just stood there like this. The whole time. What am I going to say to Jimmy Russell? I just did a mental recording of him sitting there and being beautiful. Oh, shit. Well, there goes some of that. Only a little bit got on the floor. America, by the way. How do I... Pretty sure I have a knife. Should have used this earlier before I spilled some. Don't cut away from yourself, Matt. Cut away from yourself. I didn't realize that the plastic was on the bottle. Ryan Elvis sent this to me because I didn't check a bag when I went to Kentucky. I just did carry-on for the first time in my life. And then that was the trip where I needed luggage. Every time I go on a trip with those guys, they always tease me about the size of my suitcase. So this time I said, you know what? Can't tease carry-on luggage, can you? Well, the joke was on me. Oh yeah. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. America. There we go. Temporary cap because the other one shot across the garage. Should have seen that coming. This is Michter's Barrel Strength Fort Nelson Reserve Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 110.8 proof, hand bottled by Matt Porter on September 3rd, 2024. Have I ever had one of these before? No. We are proud to offer you this hand-bottled Fort Nelson Reserve Barrel Strength Kentucky Straight Bourbon. After full maturation, each individual charred white oak barrel of this US 1 bourbon is bottled at its particular strength. The single barrel bourbon has been mellowed by our signature filtration, which is weird because it came out of a barrel. America. All right. So before we did the wild turkey pick, the first thing we did was toured, and I don't know how the hell Alec from Alec Bradley Cigars, the sponsor of tonight's live stream, pulled this off. If I had to guess, it wasn't. He must have had some help, but we did a full tour of the Shively distillery of Michter's. Like, it's not open to the public, like where their actual distillery is at, their big distillery, with the president. I actually don't want to put that back in there because the damn cork's not the right cork. The president of Michter's, Mr. Joe. I'm sorry, Tom. Their master distiller, Joe, and their shoot, what's her title? Maturation, chief of maturation, Andrea. Literally, like the three top people at Michter's. We went on a private tour with them, and then we did a full tasting with them. Then we went to Camp Nelson downtown, toured there, I can't even, it was a crazy experience the entire time. You're like, why are we here and how is this even possible? Did the bottle your own, which was this, with all of them. Then we went up to the bar upstairs, had some drinks on the house there, which is insane. And then we went out to a crazy friggin' dinner at Jeff Ruby's with all of them. We spent the entire day with them. I had never felt imposter syndrome like that before. And I still don't know if it was real. But and then crazy day, Alec, if you see this, thank you so much for doing that. I don't know how you pulled it off, but a wild, wild day. But this is the culmination of it. This is what I have to remember it, other than memories and the few pictures we were allowed to take. This Camp Nelson bottle your own Michter's, which smells way better than I thought. Holy shit, that smells very oaky. I wasn't expecting it to be aged. I don't know how old this is, but it tastes aged. This is ridiculous. And from 13 minutes ago. I'm sorry for not keeping up with chat. Appreciate your playfulness and just having fun. One of my good buddies sends me clips of tastings from time to time, doing his best impressions of you. You do great work, man. Don't change a thing. I need to see those impressions. So when he sends them to you, you need to upload those to YouTube and send me the link. Some people sleep on Tyrone, I don't know why. My pick from last year was Tyrone K, and I don't say things about like my picks mostly about like, oh, my turkey pick from last year is like one of the better turkey picks I've had. And it's a Tyrone K. So I wasn't afraid of picking a Tyrone barrel at all. What's the floor to story conversion? Isn't that like 10 feet normally? 8 feet or is it 10 feet normally? Isn't it 10 feet per floor usually per building? I would guess, I'd estimate. Possibly. Could be wrong. We could fly Cameron from Drums and Drams with a few balloons. He could grab it cartoon style. I'm not sure if I think I might have made the same joke. I haven't ranked the Quay Hill yet, no. Do they still have a claw attachment for drones? Whenever Dan and Sean release their video from Kentucky, you'll have to watch that. I don't want to spoil anything, but things were thought about for sure. Cash? It's like cash? I gotcha. That is like, I had a cough. Hold on one second. I'm back. Very oaky and like a cherry custard. Almost like I get yogurt notes on Maker's Mark, which are like a Greek yogurt, kind of like or like a kefir, so kind of a sour note. This smells like a delicious cherry yogurt that is like not a sour style, but more like a creamed cherry and vanilla oak. I work in data forensics. You send me the card, I might be able to get the footage for you. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I don't know what you people can do with your forensics and data. I might be able to get the footage for you. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. I know, I appreciate the offer. I'm hoping that somehow we get a nice windstorm that blows the drone 60 plus feet to the ground and destroys it, but still has my memory card with a good 4K footage on it. Maybe the plastic wasn't the move. It wasn't. I didn't realize it was in plastic. Ryan wrapped it in plastic before he sent it, which was very nice of him. All right, I'm catching up. Midnight broke his chair. That's not good. Sweet Cindy. Tasting Green River Foolproof. Amazing and on sale. On sale now. This sounded like me when I was talking about the Boulder Cask strength. Amazing and for sale. All right, let's go for a sip. I wasn't expecting the nose to be this good, but it is reminding me of like a Mixer's 10, kind of bourbon style, a little bit. Maybe not quite as, maybe like a Mixer's 8. I don't know. Let's go for a taste. Oh shit, that's good. Well, it's spicy. Hell yeah. What does it remind me of? I don't even know what that reminds. That's like pretty unique. It is very spice driven. There's almost like there's a Musselman's spiced apple ring that was discontinued that my mom used to buy for like Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff that I really, really enjoyed. It has that spiced apple ring note. If it weren't the kind of like the juice that was in there. The apple is very appley in the spiced apple rings, but it's like there's a spiced red juice that it sits in. It reminds me of that a lot. I didn't know what to expect from that, but that is honestly way, way better than I thought it was going to be. The second sip is much lighter and fluffier. The first sip was like super spice. Second sip was like sporty spice. Or like sultry spice, if it were a spice. Softer, fluffier, still some spice around like the sides of the tongue. A slow builder. Doesn't build into anything crazy, but slow builds over the palate. Man, if you ever get the chance, and I mean, I'm going to be completely honest, I don't even know how much one of these costs. They just literally let us do it and gave it to me. Like, I don't know how Alec made it happen. I don't know. Honestly, let me say this. The day was so crazy. Like, the day made no sense. And like, have you ever been somewhere where you're like, this, it was kind of like I've been on pics and stuff with these guys before, and we've had great times before. But then when you stop and like take a look, like you take a step back and realize who you're sitting there with and why they're wasting their time with you. I don't know how to pronounce Tom's last name. I tried to pronounce his last name so many times and I failed each time. But the president of Michter's is just sitting there, like shooting the shit. And then their master distiller. And then Andrea, who's way smarter and has so many more better. Like, why are they there with that? Like, it would made no sense. And then the bottle that just took care of it. Like, I don't understand that day. It was the weirdest day. And I think for years and years we'll wonder how that happened. But my guess was, turns out I don't think I was right. It almost seemed like something that Dan Like did. Like Dan Like has the ability to do things that don't make sense at all. Like at all. Like one, for example, this is just a quick Dan Like story because I love him so much. We were in Florida. Was it last year or the year before? It was whenever I reviewed the celebration, the Michter celebration. We were there, so it was like my family, and then Dan showed up at their house as a surprise with his family. It was a crazy cool time, but we went out to dinner that night, and Dan rented out this space inside of Dave and Buster's, I think it was. Like he rented out a space for a party, so that we could get food catered to us. But as another surprise, he picked up Ryan from Bourbon Outfitter, Justin's All Suburban, who met us there at Dave and Buster's. I think it's Dave and Buster's. Pretty sure that was the name of the place. Anyway, not only did he pick up Ryan from the airport, or had Ryan picked, Ryan's like, dude, I got picked up in a Maybach, or a Maybach. Some dude just pulled up and was like, Ryan, get into this, the things that Dan can make happen is the craziest shit. You would be like, that's impossible. That's how I felt on this day at Michter's. Dan must have had something to do with this. And when we asked Alec how he managed to pull it off, all he said was, "You're welcome. You're welcome." Very humble Alec. But it was a crazy, super cool day. I'll share more of it, in the future. But what a wild experience. Some things some experiences this channel's given me that you would never ever expect to happen. And I'm not sitting here trying to brag about it. I'm just sharing an experience with you which was wild. I share a room with Nick Jones though, so it all came crashing back to reality for Nick as I sleep apnea'd in his ear all night. Sorry, Nick. The Fort Nelson is 110.8 proof. 110.8, Richie. And sorry for blabbing on and on. It's the truth, whiskey problems. It was more like sultry spice. No, hey, Mike. The questions that we had at Michter's, and the answers we received. Mysterious is a great word for it. We asked a lot of questions, got a lot of proprietary information answers. They didn't share their proprietary information. We just got told, "I'm not telling you." It wasn't really. Listen, I wouldn't say moving up in the world, because moving up in the world would make me feel like I belong. I belong there for some reason. It was literally we were there. I don't know what Alec told them about us. What lies did he have to spout? Who did they think that they were in front of? It made zero sense. And zero sense at all. I loved it. Every second of it. But, I don't know. Midnight, right on, brother. A long one. Yeah, thank you everyone for sticking around. Sorry it's been such a long stream. We're 2 hours deep. This, like I said, I don't know what those go for, but the experience, you get to sign their book saying that you did it. If you're ever in Louisville and you get the opportunity to, I guess this is the best way to put it. If you have the opportunity to buy a bottle of the fill your own barrel bottle. This one, the Fort Nelson Reserve. It's good to know that whatever this costs is worth. You're not getting a regular bottle of whiskey. This is not a regular bottle of Michter's. This is something that is a special bottle. And I've never really heard about it before. People talk about it, but just know that what you're getting is not something you could just go buy at the store. It's the experience, plus it's really, really damn good whiskey. It's familiar though. Why? It's opening up a little bit in the glass, getting fluffier. Oh wow. The third sip is less spicy, even further, and it seems to like get a little bit lighter, a little bit lighter on the palate. This one was a bit more of a barrel zing down the middle, more sharp notes. It'll be interesting to see what this tastes like after a couple months or whatever, and like just sitting open. But I'm a big fan. Thank you, Alec, for making that happen. You are a freaking gangster. Wasn't saying your stream was long, Matt. It's still, I mean, it's late. It's 11 o'clock Mountain Time. It's 1 a.m. on the East Coast. If you live in friggin' Jersey doing Jaeger bombs, it's 1 a.m. And they're like, hey, one more hour and then it's bar close. Jaeger bombs. Hey, raise your hand in chat. Did you go through a Jaeger bomb phase? Anybody go through a Jaeger bomb phase? If you did, let's see some hands in chat. The Barrel Kingiest Great Portsky. What the heck are you still doing up? Cheers, Matt. Tony, I didn't start until 9 o'clock Mountain Time. So I didn't start till 11 Eastern tonight. Had some prior obligations that kept me away from home until then. So we fired this baby up a little bit after 9 p.m. Mountain Time, and we're still going. Jaeger bombs were the mother's milk after graduating high school in 2024. Yeah, we got some Sean Holgrave, Dan Fox. Tony Bagon's just clapping. Yeah, one WD went through some Jaeger bombs. If you think about it, the first vodka Red Bull, like the energy drink mixed with alcohol, vodka Red Bull, Jaeger bombs, like that phase, the very first one of those, I believe, was the White Russian. The White Russian, you know, Kahlua, cream, and coffee, or like coffee, vodka, and cream. That was the initial, the very first, in my mind, like vodka Red Bull, like the very first energy alcohol was the White Russian. Skipped it, dang. 4 Locos, says David Fox. That's wild. All right, let's do this final one, then we'll call it a night. The Coy Hill, which I need to review still. I started the review of this a couple nights ago, and I must have still not been feeling that great because I recorded for like 10 minutes and realized that it wasn't. Sometimes when you start doing something and then you realize that what you're doing isn't the level that you want to do it. Not saying that, like, I just realized 10 minutes into the video that I was at like 20% energy and it wasn't good. So after tasting this with Chris Fletcher and then sampling it one more time and then we're down to just a little bit. So I need to save enough for the review, but also I want to compare it to a single barrel offering that I have. That'll be enough for a review. Hopefully I can find a bottle. This is one of the highest proof single barrel special release Coy Hill Barrel House 8 offerings from Jack Daniels this year. They sent the media, which I guess I'm a member of the media, some of the higher proof samples. They range from 122 proof to like 137 proof, I think. 122 to 135, 37, somewhere in there. There's no hazmat barrels in this. But they got these from different floors of Barrel House 8, and by doing that, through each single barrel, they're gonna have different profiles. Chris Fletcher said that of all like the special releases that they've done, the Coy Hill Barrel House 8 release has the most variance. So like if you pick up a 123 proof barrel and then a 129 proof barrel, like these were picked from different locations, and they share some characteristics. Like he mentioned like a musty barrel house note and a couple other things, but he said that in general, like they do vary quite a bit, and that was kind of a cool thing that he thought was like the hallmark of this release. They weren't trying to replicate or copy the Coy Hill releases of the past, which were, you know, the 140 plus proof single barrels and small batches, but instead showcase like the variance in how things can change based off of parts of the rick house and proof, and like how flavor profiles are different. I guess in order to realize that though, you'd need more than one bottle to really realize that difference. So I guess hopefully we can all find more than one. This one, Barrel House 8, 134.7 proof, is one of the higher proof ones, like I said, and is just shy of 11 years old by like 3 weeks. So it's like 10 years, 11 months plus. What is the secret to finding a good barrel with strong banana bread note? Realistically, a lot. I mean, finding a good barrel. Are you talking about for the Coy Hill release? That's hard to say. I don't know. So now we need all the Coy Hills, right? It's like, listen, we don't want you to FOMO because this wasn't. We're not trying to replicate the past, but in order to realize what we wanted to do here, you got to collect them all. They're like Pokemon or whatever. Oh man. Regular blend Tin Cup 10 in 1792 full proof. If you, Zachary Campbell, look at some of the favorite Bardstown Bourbon Company releases, like 3 and 4, MGP, Barton, 1792, and Beam. If you put together like I just goof around with some stuff at home, like a Hardin's Creek or like an old Knob Creek pick, and then 1792 full proof, or if you can find like an older Barton, like a Sam Houston 15, Calumet 14, 15, whatever, and then an older MGP, those together in the right ratios makes magical whiskey. Did I steal parts of the recipe from Bardstown Bourbon Company and their Discovery Series? Yeah. But realistically, those put together make some really awesome stuff. What's CJP Bourbon saying? Yo, you hear it's supposed to be a phase? Uh-oh. No, the current one is 750s. So the new one, Richie, they're 750s. The small batch Coy Hill high proof, those were the 375s. The single barrels were 750s. The small batch high proofs were 375s. Now we're back to 750s again. All right, I want to do this real quick before we end of the night. I want to, where is my pen or a marker? So I started off the stream tonight by tasting, oh my God, I am so stupid. That was in my drawer. Why on earth would I put that in my drawer without closing it? I just reached in and grabbed stuff, and then right next to what I grabbed was that. Dude, get your shit together, man. Wow. Sometimes I even surprise myself. Anyway, I started the stream tonight by tasting my Jack Daniel's barrel proof pick from last year, which was, get off of there. It's just a beautiful thing. ADHD whiskey, that's that. And it was the Friday the 13th pick. And when I tasted it, I was like, that is freaking good. Oh shoot, I'm tasting Coy Hill tonight. I should blind them next to each other just to see if the new Coy Hill is that much better than a random America single barrel Jack Daniel's barrel proof. So this is my pick. Where are we at with levels? I poured too much. I'll empty it in there. Now we're good. Now where to put the cork? There it is. All right. So in order to do this, I need to label them and then do the blind. Shit, which one was mine? Are you serious, Matt? This one. What is this? Oh, that's the friggin' Smoke Eye Hill. Wow. All right. So mine, I'm going to sticker with an F for Friday the 13th. Can't see it through there. That's good. And then the Coy Hill Barrel House 8. What's the proof on mine? 130? 129.6. So what there goes the thing off my microphone. So the Coy Hill is 5 proof points higher and much older. I think my pick must be, 6 years old, I think? Bottling date. Did they put a barrel date on here? They're like between 6 and 7 years old, I think. So, in reality, I know that the Coy Hill, the MSRP on it, isn't crazy high. Single barrel Jack Daniels, $70 or so? I don't have. Hold on. No. Well, I honestly don't remember which one was which anyway. Which one I put in which hand. And if you don't believe me, too bad. But I really don't know which one is which. I'm just kind of like twirling it around here. When my channel first started, I did this. I put one on my head. Just to show you that I didn't know. Okay, so I don't know which one is which. You gotta believe me. The wheel of confusion's over there. I'm not gonna get up and get it. But the Coy Hill should stand out like a sore thumb based off of its age and the fact that it is going to be highly, highly sought after. So let's do that. The cork from the Michter's bottle is, I think I can see it. Not sure. I might be able to see it. But yeah, I definitely need to get that. 1WD's in the Seat of Confusion. Nice. Sean Prosser. Matt, thank you for the humor. Really appreciate you. Love your channel and watching everything you put out. Thank you, Shane. Thank you for the super chat. That's super nice. And I appreciate you watching. It's cool. There's, since we did a late night stream tonight, some new names in here, which is super cool to see. I love seeing new names. The problem with seeing new names is shouting out the new names, because usually like 70% of the time you're like, oh my God, Phil Ari, first time in chat. And he's like, dude, I'm here every week. So I can't just shout out at everybody who I think is new. But I'm sure that I see a bunch of new names. So thank you for being here. Smoke Eye Hill, the bourbon we all own and the bourbon we all never talk about. Some people talk about it. I'm always yelling at people for leaving knives open. It's so dumb. Why would anybody do that? Including me. Eesh. All right. David Fox subscribed tonight. Love the content. Thank you, David Fox. What the fox say? All right. Double SJs with eyes closed. Are they swirling and twirling? Nobody knows. Except for me thinking that they are because I feel like I'm doing it so good. Am I? Oh, yeah. Double SJ. Neither nose at this point is extremely fragrant. Do I want to cap them or just let them settle their bitch asses down a little bit? Or should I rile their bitch asses up a little bit? Both viable options. I think this glass has a better nose. By better, I mean a little bit more potent. I'm not getting a ton out of these right now, which is a bummer. I'll give them another second. Today's my first time here. 1WD, thank you for being here for the first time. If this isn't your first time, that means you just forgot about the rest. Friday nights are just like, Men in Black. You forgot about them. What's Jim Church talking about? What's next to the drone, Jim? No, the mixer's topper it's between a 5-gallon water jug and a teal tote housing all the reusable shopping bags we've purchased. Because Colorado has a thing where they don't bag your groceries for you anymore. Whether you're at a grocery store or a Walmart, most of them they don't bag your groceries. And if you want to bag your own groceries, they don't offer bags because they put in a law where it's like for a plastic bag, each plastic bag you purchase is 10 cents. Thing is, once that law went into effect, none of the stores even have plastic bags. So if you don't bring your own bags, you either have to buy bags there, reusable ones, or you just throw everything in your cart and then get out to your vehicle and you have a cart full of shit to throw into your car. Me being me, I forget the reusable shopping bags literally every time. So I have the biggest teal tote you can imagine filled with reusable shopping bags. And why they're not in my vehicle is a great question that I just asked myself. And I don't know. But that's where they should be. And not in the garage. That's where the problem stems. First the bags, then your straws. Paper straws are the worst. Okay. This glass is a tiny bit brighter. This glass is a bit more breakfasty, like waffles and jam. Yeah. Darker, brighter. Let's go for a sip of the brighter one. Wow. Good grief. That. Why did that hit so hard? Big sip or something? Jeez. That is good. That's ridiculous. The red wine finish on this one, I would imagine some people call it the banana note. That's got to be what they call it. There's only one prominent note in Jack Daniel's. Those of you who get banana on Jack Daniel's, do you get it more on the finish or up front, mid-palate? Like, where do you get the banana note? Because that will solidify my opinion on whether or not my red wine note is the same as your banana note. If you taste banana on Jack Daniel's, at what part do you get it? Right away, mid-palate, or on the finish? Where do you get the banana note? Mid-palate and finish? We should ban the floppy cardboard straws. Oh man, those are the worst. Oh yeah, I've done that before. The plastic laundry basket. Sometimes I've just like at Walmart before. I've bought totes. I've literally bought totes. Totes. Like I said, the lisp is strong right now. Up front, mid palate, and finish. It used to be banana. Now it's strong. Oh, so you get the red wine now? Nice. Okay. So you used to think it was banana, and now it turned into red wine for you. Okay. So it's got to be the same note. I always thought that because it's so particular, like it's such a strong note, that I'm like, the only thing I could think of was this red wine. But if that reminds some people of banana, which I don't taste banana or anything like that when I taste it, but it's such a prominent note that I believe that has to be the banana note that people get. It just reminds some people of banana. And that's the difference in memories and tasting stuff, right? But if it's on the finish, mid palate to finish, it's the same note. Oh, I got an email like this last night. Hello, this is Korea. My name is Han. I love bourbon and I'm very interested in it. I have a question. It is hard to find Jack Daniel's Coy Hill in the U.S. Yeah. It's extremely hard to find Jack Daniel's Coy Hill in the U.S. Like, super hard. Will I find? I probably won't see one. I'm sure most people here will not find one. It's just the game that distributors play and store managers play. Like, if the distributors actually distribute them to stores and not their friends, then the store managers get to play the same game. If the store decides to put it on the shelf and not, out the back door to their special people, then you might find them for very, very high markups. Is it possible to find one on a shelf for retail price? To find a distributor who's willing to bring it to the store and be like, hey, this is your allocation of Coy Hill, and then the store owner going, thank you, I will put it on the shelf, and I will put it on the shelf for the manufacturer's suggested price. Is that possible to find? Yes. That's why bourbon hunting is fun. Because there's still that chance, still that possibility, even though it is so small, minuscule, and you may have never run across something like that before, ever, there's still that tiny chance that you walk into a store and there it is. It just sits there. And you're like, oh yeah, we just got that in today. Oh hey hon, we just got that in today. The new I remember I drank Jack Daniels when I was in college, and wow, never again will I drink Jack Daniels. Well, $80 for a Jack Daniels? That's out of this world. You want to buy that? Okay, all right. Whatever you say. I mean, there are still people out there like that, which is super cool, super rare. But when you come across it, it's like you get back to the car, and that's why I believe the crotch shot exists, where somebody gets into a car. There are the people who are kind of pompous and they're like, look what I picked up today. But there are others who are just so excited because they went into a store and there it was, like their Holy Grail whiskey or whatever, and they got super pumped and there it was. Like, they got to buy it. Then they get in the car and they don't know what to do. There's no one sitting next to them they can just brag to. So they just take out their camera, snap a picture, and they're like, here's a picture of my leg, my other leg, and the bottle between them. It's possible. I believe just by the nose that this is the Coy Hill, the second glass. Yeah, it's different. Wow, those are so different. Okay. I don't know which one is which. My first instinct is the second glass is the Coy Hill. It tastes darker. It's a bit thicker, a bit darker fruits. And it's seemingly aged more. Oak comes across weird in Jack Daniels. You don't get like this strong Kentucky oak quality that's like oak specific. Maybe in the Jack Daniels 12 a little bit, but not quite like a Kentucky bourbon. Oak comes through differently because it's coming through different flavors. Weirdly enough, the second glass comes across as lower proof, but thicker and like more well-rounded. The first glass, I'm gonna have to sip it again after this, but was more like a flavor explosion, long-lasting red wine finish. Okay. Now it makes more sense. The first glass, out of the blue, was a mind blower. Tasting the second glass after the first glass, I was already accustomed to that profile, already accustomed to the proof, therefore it didn't like hit as hard. Which had me a bit confused, so I went back to the first glass, which made my point more clear to me because the first glass did not hit nearly as hard as it did the first time. Meaning that my initial thought that glass 2 has got to be the Coy Hill because of the overall well-rounded, darker qualities exist. This one's got to be Coy Hill. The first glass, although fantastic, must be the single barrel. Okay, I was right. It's Coy Hill. It's a C. The Coy Hill is still... I didn't even look at the colors on purpose, but the Coy Hill is usually a little bit darker in color, more red. And the flavor characteristics are just... Take a Jack Daniel's single barrel and just like turn down the brightness and turn down like the ambience and like turn up the contrast and turn up the saturation a little bit and then crank the volume up a little bit. But the finish on the single barrels is still fantastic. The Coy Hill is just overall more well-rounded, more bold, and a little bit thicker in the mouth, a little bit oilier, and I mean, that's damn good. The single barrels are still one of the best overall, like the highest quality whiskeys you can get for the price. The best bargain sippers, the Jack Daniel's single barrel proofs. The Coy Hill this year is pretty freaking gangster, but like Chris Fletcher said, it's not going to make up for the Coy Hills of past. They didn't try to replicate that. How do you replicate a 152 proof whiskey with a 134 proof whiskey? You can't. 134 proof is still a lot, but the 152 proof that was like the Coy Hill small batch was insane, and like the overall experience of that couldn't be replicated. So I would say that this year's Coy Hill is like a less aggressive version of the original Coy Hills, and I think that's fair to say. Don't expect the same exact shock and awe that the original Coy Hill brought on the new version, but it's at the same level as far as like quality goes. It's just not as like awe-inspiring. Remember the Moab, the mother of all bombs? This is like the mother-in-law of all bombs. Still loves you, but not as good as your real mom. In California, Coy Hill goes for $800 a bottle, and the sky is the limit from there. Jeez Louise. $800. That's dumb. That is so, so dumb. I feel already basically impossible. if you actually want one, you will need $800 on secondary or start a YouTube channel. Well, Phil, I didn't. First of all, Phil, I'm sure that there will be people out there, like I said, who will get one for MSRP or close. It does happen. The majority of them will be high priced because of what I said. The shenanigans that go on behind the scenes between distributors and store owners. Or store owners just putting them on the shelf for $800. Oh, and what is this? $200 milliliters? Is this a 200 milliliter bottle? 200 milliliters. I'm talking to you, Phil. Let's just do this real quick. Or start a YouTube channel. I started a YouTube channel in 2018 and I've made 838 videos. 838 videos. I've amassed 9,871,708 views. Is that a lot? As far as YouTube is concerned, no. It's not a lot. There are tons and tons of channels that have, multiples of that many views. Lots of multiples. But some channels get that many views on a video. But it took me, 6 years? 6 years and how many videos? 838 videos. To get that. Just start a YouTube channel. You'll get one, says Phil. Just start one. Just start a YouTube channel. Just start one. You'll get a koi hill. Just start a YouTube channel. Bitch, 838 videos. That's a lot. It's a lot of videos for 100 or 200 milliliters of koi hill. Just saying. I do love you, Phil. But if you start a channel in hopes of getting a sample of koi hill, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I do love you. Rossville Union? For a rotten party? Yeah, I like to party. I like to party. All right, I'm not best midnight ever. I love you too, Phil. I love you too. And by the way, I'm trying to think. Actually, the first koi hills, the single barrels, the first ones, I ended up buying 3 or 4 of them, and they were all right around MSRP, the first ones. I think I kept 2 and traded 2 to friends. One to Cameron from Drums and Drams, and one to Alec from Alec Bradley Cigars. Traded 2 of them away, just for random stuff. The small batch, never saw one. You're right. I never did see a small batch one. But if you tell yourself that you'll never find one unless you have $800 or you start a YouTube channel, then you never will. But maybe just go out there, wear an extra layer of cool water cologne and walk into your store with an extra bit of a strut on your butt, and maybe, just lucky, one will be sitting there for $7.99.95. And you'll save yourself a nickel, Phil. You son of a bitch. Just kidding. I'm going to leave tonight. I'm going to call it an evening. 11:33 here. That means 1:30 on the East Coast. It's far too late. Far too late. What did I do? Taste it, do everything I wanted to taste to. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. The blood oath sample I have, pack number 10, is missing a cork. So, let me retrieve it, and then I'll call it a night. So I'll be right back after I find it. We got it. You can all sleep well tonight, knowing that I found the Michter's cork. This one can come out of here. Oh, America. That sounded good. We'll put the Michter's cork back in. Nice and tight. Oh, blow oath sample. Can go back in. And thank you for nobody asking about my first week of bowling league, because I don't want to talk about it. No, bad. Went real bad. Next week we'll talk about how I remounted like Dennis Rodman and absolutely freaking killed it. Did you hear that? That little blow oath bottle was screaming. Did anybody hear that? It's like, weird. Bowling was bad, Tony. All right, I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for waiting so long for me. It was a very late evening. Next week, I don't know. I don't even have any idea, but it'll be good. And if it's not good, sorry in advance. But I'm gonna try to make it good. Speaking of making it good, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. Hit subscribe. Check out my Instagram. It's the best if you're into like shitty whiskey Instagrams. But if you're into good whiskey Instagrams, go on over to Barrel King. Subscribe to their Instagram. They also have Facebook pages and stuff. Subscribe to those. Follow them. I heard they're going to be doing some giveaways possibly. And if you're not a Patreon member, that's okay. I still love you. But I struggle because I do want to talk about barrel picks publicly, but they go to patrons first. So I don't think but there's going to be a bunch of barrel picks probably dropping all at once. And I also get messages or like comments asking how to get single barrels. How do I make a video? I don't know. I struggle with it because I don't want to like promote Patreon too much because I don't want people to feel like I'm, hey, but at the same time, if I do have things that are becoming available, I should probably. I don't know. That's just me thinking out loud after I said I'm leaving. Which I should have done before I thought out loud. I love you guys so much. See you next Friday. Videos next week. Let me think. New Riff 8-year video coming next week. 1 Ounce Wednesday video coming next week. Maybe the Boulder Cask video. Possibly. It's hard to do because that one, by the time I release the video, people aren't going to be able to get it anymore. So it's such a limited release this year. That. Oh, I've got the Maker's Heart Release after review. The Bourbon Rye Knob Creek I still have to review. The friggin', oh my gosh, I'm way behind. What else did I get? Maybe there'll be 5 videos next week. Maybe Monday through Friday, new videos every week, every day. It could happen. It definitely could happen. We'll see. All right, I'm out of here. My eyes are starting to get all wonky on me. Have a good weekend, everyone. Love you all. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next week. My name is Matt. This is ADH2 Whiskey. Like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on saving up $800 so that you can buy a bottle of Coy Hill or just start a YouTube channel.